Alright, so today we're going to talk more about GEMDAS. Today we're going to be plugging values in though. So GEMDAS with substitution. So you heard us say all the time last year, draw parking spots. So anytime you plug values in, draw parentheses. Look at number 1 down here. So we have 4, and we said x is equal to 2. So 4, draw your parentheses, 2 minus 10 divided by parentheses 2. We'll write GEMDAS here. So I don't have any groups, don't have any exponents. I do have multiplication and I see division. Remember, we go left to right. So that x there should be a 2. So we'll start by doing 4 times 2, which gives us 8 minus 10 divided by 2. So multiplication is done. Division, 8 minus 10 divided by 2, which is 5, and we get 3. So remember, for the quiz next class, show all of these steps. That's worth a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Number 3, 5, in parentheses we have 8, divided by, draw another set of parentheses, put 2 in there, close your parenthesis, power of 3, plus 2. Okay, I'm writing GEMDAS. We do have a group, so we'll start with that. So 8 divided by 2 gives you 4 to the power of 3 plus 2. I do have an exponent, so 4 to the power of 3, it's like saying 4 times 4 times 4. So 16 times 4, which gives you 64. So 5 times 64 plus 2. So move on to multiplication and division. So 5 times 64, which gives you 320. So we have 320 plus 2, and the final answer will be 322. Number 6. So 5, plug in a, which is 6 to the power of 3, plus 3 times b, which is 4, minus 4. 6 to the power of 3, that's like saying 6 times 6 times 6, so 36 times 6, which gives you 108. So we have 5 times 108. Forgot to write GEMDAS on this one, so I'll write it here on the side. Didn't have any groups, but we did have exponent, which we took care of. Plus 3 times 4 minus 4. So we'll do the multiplication. 5 times 108, which that gives you 540 plus 3 times 4 minus 4. More multiplication, 3 times 4, which that's 540. I'm going to come up here and finish my work. So 540 plus 12 minus 4. So multiplication and division is done. Addition and subtraction, left to right. So 552 minus 4, the final answer would be 548. Alright, page 14. It's the same thing. We have 8 thirds times 3 over 2 to the power of 3. So we don't have any groups this time, but we do have an exponent. To do this, we want to say 3 to the power of 3 and then 2 to the power of 3 and see what that gives us. I'm going to get rid of my parentheses and put a dot here for multiplication. So 3 to the power of 3 would be 9 times 3, which is 27, over 2 to the power of 3, which is 4 times 2, which is 8. Then, exponents are done. Multiply straight across and see what you get. So 3 times 8 is 24. 8 times 7 gives you 8 times 27, sorry. 216. Then you want to simplify. I know I can simplify at least by 2 because both of those are even. But let's see if there's a greater factor. I'm going to divide by 24 because that's my GCF. And that gives me 9 over 1, or just 9. Number 7. So x is 2, 2 is squared, times 7, and the entire quantity is squared, plus 4 for y. So, GEMDAS. I have a group, and within that group, I see an exponent and multiplication. Exponent is first, 2 squared gives you 4. Finish your group. So 28 squared plus 4. 28 squared, that's like saying 28 times 28. Gives you 784 plus 4, or 788 for the final answer. Number 8, GEMDAS. Okay, so we have 3 different variables that we're looking at this time, and it's the same thing. So we're going to draw parentheses, plug in 1, plus -2 times 4, plus, remember, absolute value is another group, plus 4 minus -2. Put my parentheses over here on the R and the S, too. Alright, so we're going to go left to right. So we'll start with the group here. First, -2 times +4, which gives you -8. Plus the absolute value of 4 minus -2. Remember, 2 negative signs gives you a big plus. So 1, I'm going to drop my parentheses around the 1. I'll keep it around the -8. So we'll simplify this other group that we have. So 4 plus 2, that would give you the absolute value of 6. So we'll finish that absolute value. 1 plus -8 plus 6. So all the groups are done. We took care of that here with the -2 times 4, and then here 4 plus 2, and then the absolute value is 6. Now we'll do 1 plus -8, which gives you -7 plus 6, which gives you -1 for the final answer. And guys, as you're going through these problems, you're probably seeing they take a lot of space. It might be a good idea to get a piece of lined paper and just include that with these notes and homework problems. Alright, number 9. We're going to plug in 9 for C and -7 for F. We'll change colors here. So 4, draw your parentheses, 9 squared, plus 5, parentheses, -7, minus 2. Exponent, so 4 times 81 plus 5 times -7 minus 2. Multiplication left to right, 4 times 81. So I know 8 times 4 is 32, So 80 times 4 would be 320. 1 times 4 is 4, so we'll say 324 plus 5 times negative 7 minus 2. Multiply. So 324 positive and negative gives you negative 35 minus 2. Subtract left to right. 324 minus 35 gives you 289. And 289 minus 2 is 287. Number 12. So we have 2, plug in 4 for z, minus 2 for x, plus 3 times 5. So I have a group. Within the group, I have addition and multiplication. Multiplication first. So 2 times 4 minus 2 plus 15. 2 times 4 minus 2 plus 15 gives you 17. That's 8 minus 17. I'm going to come up here and finish that up. And 8 minus 17 gives you negative 9. All right, look at page 15. It's number 14. I'm going to start by dividing up my numerator and denominator. And the last step is to go back and plug in. So we have 3 squared minus 10 plus 13. So I have a group. Within the group, I have the exponent, so start with that. Finish your group, negative 1 plus 13, which gives you 12. So the numerator is going to be 12. Denominator, I have 4 minus 4 squared plus 9 exponent. 4 minus 16 plus 9. So negative 12 plus 9, which is negative 3. Then simplify that to get negative 4 for the final answer. Number 15. So I have 2 squared times 9 plus 4, close the bracket, minus 20. That's the numerator this time. So I have a group within the group of brackets here. So 2 squared gives you 4 times 9 plus 4 minus 20. So 4 times 9 is 36 plus 4 minus 20. So it gives you 40 minus 20, which is 20. Denominator. So we have 4 plus 2 times 3. 4 plus 6, which is 10. And go back, numerator, which is 20, over denominator of 10. Simplify to get 2 for the final answer. So 18, we have 28 times 1/2 divided by 2 plus negative 5 to the power of 3. It's like saying negative 5 times 5 times 5, so negative 25 times 5, which is negative 125. Multiply, 28 times 1/2, so half of 28 is 14. Divide, that's 7 plus negative 125. And you get negative 118 for the final answer. So 19. So exponent, so 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. Left to right, addition, so 27 plus negative 5 gives you 22 plus 5, which is 27. over the square root of 4 times 9. Remember, in this case, this counts like a group because there's something within this radical, within this square root, to simplify. So 4 times 9 is 36. So the square root of 36 gives you 6. So go back and put numerator over denominator and then simplify. 27 over 6, divide both of those by 3 to get 9 halves, or 9 over 2.